What is it like being a German living in Jamaica? Hi, I'm Xavier Murphy, the founder of Jamaicans.com, and today I speak to Heidi Zech, a German living in Jamaica. Heidi, how are you?
I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so I tried my best not to butcher your last name because I wanted to try and say it as close to how the Germans say it. So, was I close?
You were very, very close. I mean, the German language has some sounds in it that it seems like not many people or not many nations can really pronounce it, but very well. It's actually Zech, but in Jamaica, usually people will say Zek or something like that. But
All
it's
right.
fine. I don't have a problem with
All
it.
right. I came close. I feel
Very.
all right. Quick question. Now, you and I know, I've known each other for a while, tremendous photographer and
Thank you.
tremendous photography.
Thank you.
Are you still doing photography?
Oh yes, oh yes. I,
Great.
I don't think I will ever stop doing photography, no matter what job I have, or it just doesn't feel right if I don't take photos from time to time.
And I know you mentioned to me you teach it also.
Yes, yes, yes. That's actually one of my main functions right now, to teach professional photography, because I mean, nowadays most people, they have their cell phones and you snap, snap, snap. Nothing is wrong with that, but really to go into the details of photography, yeah, that's what I do. Teach lighting and composition and all the good stuff that comes with it.
Nice, nice. So, where in Germany are you from?
I'm from Munich originally,
Okay.
born and
And
grown in Munich.
what is Munich like?
I mean, when I grew up there, it wasn't how it is now. I mean, back in the days, it wasn't a very culturally versatile city. But I mean, it's very traditional. There are a lot of things to do, lots of parks. People always say it's very clean, which is true. So yeah, it's a very nice city. And when I go back occasionally on vacation, I usually stay out of town with my sister. But when I do go in town, I totally enjoy it. It's a great city.
What's your fondest memory growing up in Germany and in Munich?
I would say times with my family, especially when we would go on vacation, or even it is Christmas time now, and I always remember Christmas time. I have a brother and a sister, and we just had some great times as kids, and we would go out on family vacations to Austria and so on. And I do like to remember that. I'm still very close with my sister, so we always talk about these times. Yeah.
Nice. So, tell us about your journey and how you ended up living in Jamaica.
So I don't want to say it's a long story, because it really isn't. When I was about 16, my sister had a friend at the time who loved reggae music. And when you're 16, I used to listen to almost everything. And he told me that there's a reggae concert in town that I should go to. I was 16. So I went to this Black Uhuru concert, and just by hearing the beat and feeling the music, I think that was it for me. that is that is how the whole journey started.
A great band,
Yeah,
one of my favorite
yeah,
bands. Is it one of
yeah.
your favorite bands still today?
Of course. Of course, it's like as I don't want to say as good as it gets, but it's foundation. That's
No,
yeah.
so you traveled to Jamaica for a visit at first at six. I mean, after hearing the Black Aurora, or did you know?
Well, what happened then was that, going to the shows, I was every day I was looking in the newspaper, because that time no social media. So you had to look in the newspaper to find the little classified ads, because most of the time the venues were very small venues. So I would look and, okay, there's a show. Sometimes it's on a Tuesday, sometimes it's on a Thursday. And I would go to almost every show. And then, of course, you go there and you meet people that are in the scene. And I started to meet Jamaicans. And and then I met my future husband, and future ex-husband. And then I just got into loving Jamaica. And then we came here on vacation, and a few times, until we eventually moved here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. And your first time when you first landed, do you remember that feeling when you first got to Jamaica?
I do remember that feeling. The first thing I remembered was coming out of the airplane, how hot it was. I mean, I wasn't used to hot climate, really, or just the air being so so warm, and it was like almost like I'm walking into a wall of hot air. But and then moving around, meeting people, seeing the places, and so on, I just felt an instant connection with the island.
So, and I know I'm kind of going deep into this similar question. You're listening to the music, you're interacting with people, Jamaican people at these concerts and these reggae events and so on and so forth. And when you landed, and yes, the hot air hits you, was it similar to what you kind of expected, being around the culture, the people, the music, and then being there?
Yeah, I think so, because I mean, I think Jamaicans will always be Jamaicans no matter where they are. I mean, a Jamaican in Germany always has still that island vibe, and it was the same thing when I came here. It was just, I just felt at home. Yeah.
Nice, nice. So, what do you like the most about living in Jamaica?
What do I like the most? I mean, I very quickly made Jamaica my home. I have, I have my house, I have my children, two grandchildren actually, and I mean, I'm just very close to the family, and also how the lifestyle here, basically what I can do, and where I can go, and just being not, in Germany is like you're very, I would say you're very, what should I say? I see I'm out of words now. Yeah.
Is it the vibe? Just this,
Yeah, I mean, there's a vibe that I like, and I can go anywhere I want, and I can go to a concert. I mean, I
All right.
just feel connected. Yeah.
All right. Now, what do you like the least about living in Jamaica?
That's actually a difficult question, because I have to say that over the years, what I like the least now, I have to say, is actually the road, the driving. It has gotten really, really bad. The way people drive. That's how I feel. I'm not sure if I if
No,
I
that's a valid,
it's a big concern, I
yeah,
think.
a valid concern. I've seen so many of these accidents in my WhatsApp groups
Yeah.
and so on. So, in fact, yeah, I avoid driving. It used to be the North Coast. You try and drive on the North Coast, it was a little safer.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And
I
I
hear
have to drive every day, and it's like every day I'm like, oh God, I can't believe what this guy just did. It's so I feel like I want talk to people and tell them you should not be driving like that. It's dangerous to you and to other people. So yeah.
Exactly. No, so I have to ask because your Jamaican accent sounds heavier than mine, born there and so on, you know. So what is a Jamaican term that you absolutely love?
That I absolutely love. I mean, I just patois is a thing that is. I have to say, a friend of mine said I understand everything. I'm not sure if I understand everything, but I think one of my favorite phrases is "small up yourself." There are so many funny words and phrases that I can't even think of all of them. But
Right.
things like bless up yourself, big up yourself, small up yourself. Those are the things like, how do I, well, I can small up myself if I need to, but
So
things like that. Yeah.
so when you got to Jamaica, did you ever experience something where you're like, wow, this is culturally different than I thought? I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It just
Mhm.
maybe something that you're used to this in the German culture, but in
Mhm.
Jamaican culture, this is how it's done, said. Can you tell us about that experience?
I mean, there are things that are very, very different, but I think one of the things that I never had coming here is to expect that everybody does things the German way or thinks the German way. No, I'm not like that. I'm the person that came to Jamaica from Germany, and I think that I need to respect and accept things the way they are, unless it's something that is not right. Then I will say, hey, you can't do that. Like, for example, being on the job and somebody has, let's just say, for example, a soon come mentality. No, you start at 8 o'clock, you need to be here at 8 o'clock. Just a simple example. But I was never the person to come here and say, what are you doing? This is not right. No.
Right, right.
Mm-mm.
But did you find, like, I've heard people say in terms of culture, um, you have to say good morning, ma'am, or morning, sir, or whatever. Did you find a difference between the greetings or some of the different customs?
I find that Jamaicans usually or used to grow up with a lot of manners. And when I grew up, if I enter a room, I have to say good morning, good afternoon, whatever it is. I have to greet people. Or if I walk through a door and somebody is behind me, I have to hold that door open for the person. To me, that is just common courtesy. And I find that a lot of Jamaicans have that common courtesy, but it's missing from the younger generation now, from a lot of people nowadays. So when I deal with the
Mhm.
younger generation, sometimes I'm like, where's your brought up see? Yeah, so that I find that it's not a good thing. I think we need to keep these type of manners and respect for each other. So
I-
then in that case, if I work with somebody that does not have that, I say, hey, when you come in the morning, you need to say good morning, or in
Right,
a nice way, because some people are just not brought up that way anymore.
right, right.
And
I
I think
love
that's everywhere. I'm sorry. Yeah, I think that's everywhere.
I love that you throw in some of the Jamaican language, soon come mentality and brought up say and all of that. Oh wow, you're fully immersed.
Yeah, I've been here a long time.
you're you're Jamaican.
Yes, I have a Jamaican passport. I have two passports. I got my citizenship in 2013. Yeah.
Nice,
I have
nice.
this nice little ceremony in Kingston, and I felt very proud. It was fantastic. Yeah.
So food.
Ah.
Give me two of your favorite Jamaican foods.
I'm not a big meat eater. I will eat the occasional piece of chicken. But I'm more of on the vegetarian side. I'm not a full vegetarian, but my favorite Jamaican food is ackee and saltfish, ackee and anything, and roast breadfruit actually.
Oh, nice.
Nothing better than that.
So do you like the kind of turn yellow heart breadfruit, or you like just the, or you don't care?
I don't care. In that case, I don't care. We actually have a huge breadfruit tree outside, and you can, if I have too much, I'll freeze it or I share it with the neighbors or whatever it is. And yeah, breadfruit, yes.
No, you have, traveled Jamaica, as I'd mentioned, you're a photographer.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about a place in Jamaica that you have visited and you said, I just love this scene. I just love, maybe it's so, from a photography perspective, it's just a beautiful scene.
I think there are so many, because everywhere you go has something special. But one of my favorite parishes is St. Mary, actually. I used to live there, used to live near to Arcabessa in Boscobel. And there in St. Mary, James Bond Beach and the road going to James Bond Beach and that entire area there. I used to work actually at a hotel that was called Golden Seas. It's not there anymore. Yeah, that whole area there. I love St. Mary. Yeah.
Nice.
And I would say it's very picturesque. There's so much that I would see from a photography point of view.
Nice, nice. My dad's from St. Mary.
Oh, wow.
Yes, yeah. He's from a small town called Sandside. That's in St. Mary.
Know.
Yeah, he may not like me saying this, but it's kind of a hole in the wall. but it's more than a hole in the wall, but yes.
It seems like that.
Okay. No, let me ask you, what advice would you give to someone that says, I'm moving to Jamaica?
I would say, and I touched on that earlier a little bit, don't come, well, that's just my opinion. Don't come here because you love warm weather or you love being near to the beach. Yes, that can be a part of it. Of course, it is a part of it. But come here because you love the island, you love the culture, you love the people. And I think it's also being a foreigner in another country. I think it's important that you make a contribution towards the country. And a contribution, I'm not talking necessarily about money, but doing something that is of benefit to the country. I think that's very important. I just feel that way. Jamaica has so much potential, and you just have to be a part of it, living here, to help make it better or help grow the country a little bit.
Nice. Yeah. Now, when you visit and you leave Jamaica, what's the one thing that you miss?
I would say most of all my family and my home. And to me, the best feeling is when you come back, and I usually land in Montego Bay, sometimes in Kingston, but just the feeling of coming closer to the island, I feel like, oh wow, why have I left? But usually I don't leave for that long, so it might be 2 or 3 weeks. Sometimes I have to go away for work a little bit longer.
Right.
But yeah, my family and my home mainly. Yeah.
So I'm going to get nosy now. And there's a photo that we've been seeing in the back, the black and white photo there. Please tell this nosy person here, myself, about that photo.
Yeah, that's my granddaughter, actually.
Oh, my granddaughter.
Yeah, we did a photo shoot a few weeks or a couple of months after she was born. And that was one of my favorite shots, and I had it, as you can see, enlarged.
And you took the shot.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, of course.
just to be clear, not anybody else, but you took that beautiful shot.
I would be very upset if they go to another photographer. It would be
Well, Heidi, listen, I appreciate you spending some time telling us your story about living in Jamaica. Any closing thoughts?
any closing thoughts. Yeah, I think when we were talking about doing this one, I said one of the things that was very important to me, that being a foreigner living in another country, I believe you should not think that things have to be or should be the way where you come from. Accept the way the country is, and that should be one of the reasons why you are here.
All right.
And it's just my thought.
All right. Well, as you say in Jamaica, little more.
Yes, little more. We'll
Thanks
see
again,
you
Heidi.
again, hopefully. All right.
Show us some love now. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss a video.